And then my dad was furious. My dad was like, you messed me up. You messed me up. My mom also was calling me. Everybody was calling me from Boston. My dad was like, you messed me up. And then my mom called me back. She goes, oh, is this what you want to go do in Scotland? Hi everybody, I hope you're doing fine. Today I want to gist you. Yes, I want to gist you. I want to tell you of the time that I got a police escort. So get your popcorn, get your wine, whatever it is you need to get, and be attentive. Okay, so story. Once upon a time, there was a man. There was no man. Actually, there is a man. There is a man. My dad. I hope he doesn't watch this video. But anywho, it started like this. This was years ago, by the way. So I'm in Boston, right? And I was gonna go to Scotland for study abroad. I didn't think it through because I'm an American citizen, so I was thinking that I would just be able to go without getting a visa or whatever. But I needed a student visa. I didn't know this prior to booking my flight. So yes, I booked my flight before I realized I needed to get a visa to go to Scotland for study abroad. Anywho, I sent my passport, my American passport, to New York to get my student visa on it for Scotland. And you know, they had it. That was that. They had my passport. And then I was going to Nigeria. But you know, I could always use my Nigerian passport to go to Nigeria, but I needed my US passport to come back to the States. I had everything planned regardless. I was like, it's okay, it's fine. I'm just going to, when I get to Nigeria and whenever my passport is ready in New York, they will just send it to my address, and that way I can have a family member pick up my passport for me in the house and then just mail it to Nigeria for me. That way I can use my US passport to come back to the States. Easy peasy, no big deal. That's what I thought. So I'm in Nigeria enjoying vacation, whatever, going here and there. Eventually my passport, as I planned, was ready in New York, and then you know, they sent the postman to drop it off at my address. But here's where the problem began. The delivery guy would not deliver it unless a family member comes with my last name to accept it and sign for it. But bear in mind, all of my family members are in Nigeria. I had a family member, I planned that a family member would get it for me, but they needed somebody with my last name to accept it and sign for me because it is a passport. Whew. I was like, how am I supposed to do this? All of my family members are here in Nigeria with me. So I was like, okay. So I think about what to do. I went to the US Embassy in Nigeria, in Lagos. I talked to them, is there something that you can give me temporary just to get out of here? They said no. I told them about the situation that the delivery guy would not drop it, the post office would not drop it unless somebody signs for it, and all of my family are here in Nigeria. And then they made me sign just to, you know, confirm that it was me, so they can send it to the post office with a stamp, just so the post office can know that, yeah, I'm giving them the authority to leave my passport with the person that I had to pick it up. But still, after all that, the post office, they would not deliver. They would not release my passport. I was like, what is going on? So eventually I could not travel out of Nigeria back to Boston, and my travel date was approaching. The day to leave was approaching. So what happened was, my family member left me. Everybody left. Well, my dad stayed back with me, but my mom, my brother, and my sister, they left. They had to leave because if anything, they had to leave to go to the post office so that they can get my passport for me and sign for me as these people want them to do. So they left and I was alone in Nigeria. So basically I spent extra week in Nigeria. Was it up to a week, maybe days in Nigeria? So anyway, while the rest of my family members were already gone back to Boston, I was alone with my dad, remember? And my dad would not let me go out on my own. Literally, I could not go anywhere on my own. Even before then, before the rest of my family member left, whenever I had to go out, I usually get someone to go with me, my cousin or somebody, a guy, to just go out with me. But that's that. So when the rest of my family member went back to Boston, I was basically along with my dad, and I was not allowed to go anywhere. So I was bored out of my mind. I was bored out of my mind. And sometimes I would just take a stroll around the compound, around the yard, couldn't do anything. So one day, I went out with a friend and I got back home late. I think because I just have been home the whole time, I don't know, it was just so annoying that I was so bored. And the time I got the opportunity to go out with a friend, which by the way, I lied to get out of the house. Again, I just hope my dad does not watch this. But yes, I lied to get out of the house. I refused to get anybody to go out with me. I refused to let anybody follow me. I was like, Dad, don't worry, I'm just gonna go down the street, I'll be back. I don't need anybody to follow me, I'll be fine. And so yes, I left, and guess what? I came back home late. Yes, I came back home late. My dad was already calling me, everybody was calling me, like the whole world was calling me. The whole family member was calling me, everybody everywhere in the world, they were calling me. But then my phone was dead. And eventually I got home, but again late. And then my dad was furious. My dad was like, you messed me up. You messed me up. My mom also was calling me, everybody was calling me from Boston. My dad was like, you messed me up. And then my mom called me back, she goes, oh, is this what you want to go do in Scotland? Walk around and come back late, da 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 da. And she's like, you're not going to Scotland anymore. Meanwhile, I already missed like a week of school. Well, school hadn't technically started in Scotland. It was just, I think, like orientation and whatnot. I already missed all of that because my passport didn't arrive in time for me to go back to Boston and then fly to Scotland. The plan was get to Boston, get my bags, second day flight to Scotland. But since I missed my flight to Boston because I didn't have my passport, that meant I also missed my flight to Scotland. So I had to buy a whole new ticket for Scotland. So anywho, my mom was like, is this what you want to go do in Scotland? You're not going to Scotland anymore. I was like, Mom, that's not an option because I can't even go to UMass Boston. That's where I went from undergrad. I can't go to UMass Boston. UMass Boston already started school. I already missed like a week of school or something, or 2 weeks, and had a drop already passed. I literally could not go to UMass Boston at this time. It would be a whole waste of semester if I don't go to Scotland. But anywho, my dad was like, you messed me up. You going to Boston tomorrow. Like, my dad was like, you going back to Boston tomorrow. Luckily for me, my passport already arrived. So the following day, my dad dropped me off at the airport, and then he got me a police escort. I was like, you need to follow her all the way to the gate. And I was like, wait, what? Is it because I could run away or something? I don't understand. What was the point of that? But yeah, that's the story of how I got a police escort. My dad was not playing. My dad was not playing with me at all. But yeah, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Alright?